back to the channel, and as you can see, we have the G87 M2 Zansport Blue. My really long-term friend Malcolm from Automotive Addicts, he got his press car. Naturally, we made our way up to Jacksonville to be able to spend some time with the car. We're gonna have ours in like 2 to 3 weeks. I wanted to kind of break down the modifications that are first and what are the mods you should have waiting for your guys' G87 to come in. All right, so here we are at the front of the car. This is the controversial part. These grills are kind of inset into the bumper, which is a lot different from standard. Normally there's a nice frame around the grill, which is kind of here, but it's part of the bumper. It's actually not part of the grill, which is something new for BMW. And there's a lot of open space here, in here, really getting the cooling and really getting the air into the motor, into the radiators, into the oil coolers. That was really important and something the engineers talked about when they designed the front of the car. There's not a lot of sensors on the front. There's a couple different drive options that they didn't include because they needed to get air into the car. Everything we've been able to see is really similar to the G80 that we had. A lot of the structure in the front, we'll go through that when we open up the hood. As far as the first mod I already talked about is the reflectors. We're gonna get rid of these with some painted ones. My buddies at I&D already have sent me those for our car, which our car is actually the same color as this. Then we're gonna move towards the wheel gap, which is 4 fingers again, which super annoys me. Again, they have to make the car for the world. So we're gonna fix that with the AST ALS kit, which is the adjustable lowering spring kit. We'll get rid of that wheel gap. We're gonna do some spacers. We did some spacer kits for the G80. So we have some mock shell spacers we're gonna sell. We're gonna get those on the front and the rear. This looks to be similar to what the G80, G82 require. We'll do that testing in another video on what the best setup is. We're gonna have that up on the website. The other thing is the wheels. The engineers talked about the wheels on these cars. They're actually cast other than the drive. Second most important was the cost. And really, I believe this is a $67,000, $68,000 car. So it has cast wheels. I actually like the design of the wheels. They look really good rolling, but we're gonna change those out, and we're more than likely the first set we're gonna put on is a set of Titan 7, which we're a development partner with them. We do a lot of those wheels on a lot of different cars. So stay tuned and you'll see that soon on the channel. And something I'll point out, when we did the video at Rolex, a lot of people say there's only a box flare on the rear of the car, but there's actually one on the front, and you can really see it here. There's like a triangle set, and this is more subtle, but it's 100% there, and it really reminds me of my E30 M3, which is the coolest part of this car. It really is the closest you can get now, wheelbase wise, coupe size wise, to an E30 and an E30 M3, which I love so much. All right, so the mirror is G8X. It's the M mirror that's a part of the exterior of all M vehicles. And then the one thing you'll notice that's different from the G80 is the new handle, which is inset into the door, which I actually love. I see the i4 M50s rolling around, and like, this is the first thing I notice when they go by is this door handle. It's sick. I mean, it matches the car, it's sleek, looks like something new from BMW. And honestly, like driving over here, we were behind the car. Car's nuts to see in person. I mean, the back is another controversial thing, but like has an overhang to it. It has a width to it that really, it's unlike anything you see. It's the wide body part. It's the part that's boxy. It's pure BMW. Okay, so now moving out into the back, this is the other controversial part. I'm not sure if it's gonna come through on camera. In photos, it looks kind of crazy, but in person, it goes with the back. It continues the box flare around the whole back and ties it in with the bumper. It's easy for me to see here and how it works. And it's funny, the lights remind me of E90, non-facelift E90, way back in the day when they made like 08 M3 E90. The other thing is the diffuser and the exhaust, really similar G80 muffler. It's got the diffuser similar to the G80, and this is the black. There's an M Performance diffuser that replaces that with carbon. There's also various bits of random M Performance area like here that goes in that adds into this kind of void, which we'll see. I kind of picked and choose some M Performance parts that I really liked for this car that we're gonna put on ours from day one to kind of let people see it in person and see if they like it. It's just such a crazy dynamic design that I wanted to up it even more, and I like things that are bright and things that are crazy, so that's what we're gonna do. This has the anniversary badges, which is another thing that I believe is ending super soon, and it celebrates the 50 years of M on all the M cars. It's a cool piece, and then just the back is just super wide, and it's so M2. BMW knocked it out of the park with this. A lot of people want to talk about what BMW is doing wrong. I think it's time to talk about what BMW is doing right, and one of the things they've done right with this is it is rear-wheel drive, and according to the engineers, it's going to stay that way. This is gonna be a true short wheelbase rear wheel drive BMW. This particular one is an auto. It's a ZF 8-speed out of the G80. It's a great transmission. Our car is actually gonna be manual, so it's gonna be more traditional in BMW form, rear wheel drive, manual, short wheelbase coupe, which is super important. Before I go inside and show you guys the interior, I wanna point out a couple last minute things. Carbon roof. So that's actually an option on the M2, and I have the window sticker here, so I'm gonna go through that. This is actually the price. The base price is $62,200. The Zandvoort Blue, which is super cool. This has Shadowline package, which are the darker lights, exhaust tips in black. This has a lighting package, which is the adaptive LEDs, which are super nice from the G80. Of course, the Auto Trans, which is the 8-speed, so that's included. This has remote engine start, so you can start it from the My BMW app, which is a super nice feature. M-Drive Professional, it has, the carbon roof is a $2,600 option. You have to do it. Total price is $69,695 is what we're to. Right under that 70 grand mark, and I think BMW really wanted to focus on the price point because this is really the entry tier for M cars, real M cars, full M cars from BMW. I think that's exactly 20 grand less than the G80 M3. Now let's go on the inside and I'll show you that. All right, so inside, this is a non-carbon bucket car and it actually has similar seats to the G80. The leather's a little bit different, but these are super comfortable seats. I am a proponent of the carbon bucket. I love those. I think they're super comfortable, but these are also a really great option, and BMW actually carried the M colors in. The light blue, purple blue, the red, it kind of ties in and it's really unique for the M2 specifically. Jumping in, you'll notice G80 steering wheel. It's the identical wheel, tri-stitch. It's got the carbon trim. This is a carbon trim car. It's got the shifter. This is all G8X lifted right from the car. And this is actually the ID8 new iDrive system, the ID8, which is the one full screen, which is another super controversial thing that BMW did. It's funny because customers that I had and experiences I've had, because I have ID7 in the G80, and then I have been driving new G80s, new X7s, and then this, ID8 is where it's at. It's a little bit different, takes some getting used to. And like Malcolm told me, like it's a deep system. It's a really intuitive system with a lot of stuff in there. So once you tweak it and once you get your settings right, it's one of the top infotainment systems I think on the market. Malcolm, he drives everything. So he's experienced all the infotainment pretty much you could want, and he thinks that this is one of the best out there. And I would agree with him. I don't have that much experience with it, but BMW knocked it out. The Bluetooth works. Yes, we just had some F-18s fly over, so that was super cool. The Bluetooth and everything is wireless with this. The CarPlay's wireless. You just get in the car, and once you get that connection, it's just a seamless integration. So great job with BMW. And this is an auto car, but the thing that I'll focus on with ours is that it's a manual transmission, rear-wheel drive car with this technology. There is literally nothing on the market other than the Civic Type R, which is a lower price point than this. And then there's, of course, the Porsche GT3 and, of course, the M3 and M4. But there's not many cars making a manual transmission, so BMW, keep it up. I loved mine in my G80, and really this is a mini G80. The other cool feature that I'll mention, thing that's not in the G80, are the door panels. There's like a star design here, like an inset, and then they have the M colors part of the door panel. Really nice touch for BMW. I think the interior is exactly what it should be for this price point. Let's now open the hood and I'll show you the S58 that's in the chassis. All right, so here's the S58. It's the same as G80, G82. It's supposedly detuned, but every single person tells me it's not, and I would believe it's not, because even BMW's horsepower numbers are a total random number that they decide to write down that's lower than everyone knows. So there it is, S58. It looks pretty much the same. All the packaging and everything to me looks the same. It looks like all the CSF upgrades are gonna go in just like our car. It looks like the Eventury intake is gonna go. The Keys Motorsport carbon bar that we run is gonna go in the car. So it looks like it's plug and play. It's yet to be seen. We need to install it. We need to test it and make sure, and so do the manufacturers. Everyone's trying to get a hold of these cars quickly to do that. BMW knocked it out of the park with this motor, and I really think that this will be another big seller for them. I think the dealership just told us like it's 2 to 3 year wait to get into one of these. So I'm sure these will have a premium. We'll be doing a lot more with these. As soon as we get our car, we'll be able to modify it. We have a mid-pipe in the works for it already with some of the information I was able to gather. Stay tuned to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Mention again, like a special thanks to Malcolm and Automotive Addicts up in Jacksonville. He's been doing reviews for a lot of the automotive space for many years. So we'll show his website here. Make sure you check them out, give them a like and follow, and we'll see you next time.